What's going on, everyone? My name is Miles. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys a little short segment of the SquadCast podcast that actually was recorded yesterday. And this is a really special episode because we actually had the voice of Pathfinder, Chris Edgerly, join us for the SquadCast. So I'm going to leave a link down below where you guys can go follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitch, and subscribe to him on YouTube. He makes actually really good content, and it's really cool because he is the voice actor of the game that we all know and love. And he has some really good videos on his channel that you guys need to go check out, and make sure that you're subscribed to him because he is a true character. And even after just talking to him for a few hours, he is such a down-to-earth guy, and that innocent, just like happy-go-lucky Pathfinder attitude is what he truly is in real life. So he really is a cool guy, so you guys should really go support him. And as always, if you guys want to watch the full episode to the entire podcast, we talked about a lot more things than just what you're about to see here, then make sure to go click the link down below to the full podcast episode on the SquadCast channel. So in this episode on my channel, however, we're going to talk about, I'm just going to show the part where he talks about joining up with Apex Legends. He talks about actually getting the audition and getting accepted and getting finally in the studio to record for Apex for the first time, and kind of how he thought it would all go down. But I think you guys are really going to enjoy this because just wait till you hear his voice. It's actually incredible. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Apex Legends daily videos. And as always, make sure you go subscribe to the SquadCast channel down in the description below, and make sure once again that you guys go follow Chris Edgerly. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Peace.
Yeah, it was a pretty typical process. I've been in voice acting for, let's see, I would say about 20 years professionally. April will be my 20th year doing it professionally in Los Angeles. And I did it for a few years in Orlando when I lived there in the 90s, and I was doing stand-up and then a little bit of on-camera acting and all that. So I had done plenty of games before. I mean, I'd done over 100 games before Respawn came into my life. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but I've got compadres, my colleagues, who have done 3-4 times that in video games. Just guys that they're in everything. And but yes, I'd had enough experience to pretty much see this as this Pathfinder character as kind of a cool sounding character to me. They give you what they call the breakdown, which is the description of the character, maybe a little bit of backstory, but mainly what's the personality, how would they like you to approach this personality wise, and if there's a certain vocal characteristic they're looking for, they'll put that in the notes. But to be honest, I didn't give it any more attention than I give anything else. It was one of several things I was auditioning for that day, and I'm very lucky, knock on wood, to get on average a few auditions a day. And I do them all just about all of them from home in a booth I have. And this was just another piece of copy. And I thought, okay, this sounds pretty cool. I'm going to go with a voice that I can do very easily, that's very smooth for me, and just this sort of well-spoken, happy robot. And as we know, robots don't have to sound like the old 50s sci-fi robots, the take me to your leader, or I shall do that for you, sir. It just, they weren't looking for that. This robot has a lot of personality and some backstory. So yeah, I went with my voice, but just a little bit happier, a little bit more excitable, and a little bit more clueless. And got a call back, and the callback is always somewhere else. The callback is always at a studio somewhere. And so that's when I met some of the Respawn crew, and it was one of the most pleasant callbacks I've ever had, because usually when you're on a callback, you're closer to getting it. But frankly, for video games, there are not a lot of callbacks. Usually you read for it once and you book it. And if it's something big, yes, there'll be a callback, because there'll be a lot of people they have to sort of pick through. And in this case, it was just really easy. I walked in, everyone was super friendly, and it went really, really well. And I talked about this with Erica Luttrell, who does Bangalore. And we both compared notes on our callbacks, and they were similar. It was a really smooth, positive experience, even though we both knew that just because it went really well doesn't mean you booked it. Sometimes it went really well, but it went even better for someone else. But in this case, it was just a really natural fit. And yeah, it turns out that I was their choice for it. So it was another audition for me, but it certainly has not turned into just another job. It's turned into something much bigger than that, as far as how the
Right.
game is sort of
Yeah.
blown up.
That is crazy too, because I think personally, like after meeting you and talking with you before all of this, you fit. Like, not only did you say it was a perfect fit, but you really do fit Pathfinder so well, because Pathfinder is just so like genuine, honest, and like innocent about everything. Has a great attitude towards life, and a lot of times you feel compassionate for him because he's just trying to find his creator. And hearing you talk about a lot of things, I mean, you've done a lot of big projects, and once we, getting to know you more, like you don't have any arrogancy about you whatsoever. Like, you're very genuine. So I think you fit Pathfinder really, really well. And I think also that's had part of the reason of your success with Pathfinder is because it's real for you. Like, it's a natural fit, like you said.
Thank you. I was probably more arrogant when I was younger. I'm older now, and a lot of that gets knocked out of you by life. But also, just through the good fortune of being able to work with some of the people I've worked with in my career. I mean, I've gotten to work with some A-list people. If you're arrogant walking into that room, after you walk out, you'll realize who you just worked with and see that they're a lot nicer than you might have thought, a lot more humble than you might have thought. And you realize that, well, you really probably should dial it don yourself a little bit too,
Right.
because there's always somebody who can do it better. I mean, I've always thought that I was pretty good at what I do, and I think that I am. But when you're surrounded by a lot of other people at the same level or higher than you, you realize, yeah, it would be kind of hard to be arrogant and be honest with yourself when you're surrounded by
Good
that.
point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's kind of reminds me of YouTube, to be honest, with a lot of people just looking at numbers, and there's so many people, they often just like get arrogant with that type of thing. So honestly, I'll take that bit of advice since I'm still pretty young. So thanks for that. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, you fit Pathfinder's voice so perfectly. Like, when I first got in a call with you, it was kind of weird for me. I was a little starstruck. Like, you, even when you're just talking normally, I just clearly hear that type of voice. So it's not really, I would say, I don't know, all the technicalities. You've been doing this for 20 years, but it seems like somewhat very similar to your normal voice. So, like, do you often do that with a lot of characters?
It really depends, because
Didn't think I was going to give you everything, did you? Make sure you guys go watch the full episode of the SquadCast podcast down in the link below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.